Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we cover how India leads Asia for spiritual travel interests and explore the country's historic Haveli homes, from Delhi to Rajasthan. Also, World Heritage under threat as the war in West Asia rages on. Let's start. India is a country where travel is a way of life. Increasingly, Indians seek faith-based journeys that offer not just spiritual experiences, but also meaning. Here's more.
For many Indians, travel starts with a sacred itinerary, a pilgrimage to a holy site or a revered landmark. Indian travelers are among Asia's most spiritually minded. Digital travel platform Agoda reports that 19% of Indian travelers plan a spiritually motivated trip this year. This is the highest rate across Asia. India is followed by Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, and Thailand. Spiritual travel isn't new to Indians. Devotees have long visited temples, festivals, and sacred sites. What's new is renewed interest in journeys that help travelers reconnect with themselves. In 2025, the Mahakumbh Mela in Prayagraj, the world's largest religious gathering, drove accommodation searches on Agoda up by over 200%. Other festivals and gatherings attracted similar interest. As Holi approached, search volume jumped by 195% in Pushkar, 126% in Vrindavan, and 109% in Mathura. Tourists now flock to sites of spiritual significance, seeking spiritual experiences or meaningful holidays. Spiritual travel now takes many forms. For some, it means a traditional pilgrimage, rituals and devotion. Others pursue personal journeys, visiting ashrams, attending retreats, or learning spiritual practices. Travelers seek less the place, more depth and meaning. According to recent reports, millions visit religious sites in India each year, and the country's spiritual tourism market is projected to reach $59 billion by 2028, potentially employing 100 million people. The report goes beyond mapping travel trends and highlights a bigger opportunity for spiritual and traditional destinations. Many of these places can strengthen their digital connection with travelers. Simple updates, such as providing clear information on opening hours, ticketing, and visitor guidelines, reduce planning stress, especially for international tourists. Enhancing online visibility and simplifying booking processes enable these destinations to reach more tourists and offer a seamless experience. Younger, independent, and international travelers are driving the demand for spiritual tourism. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what they seek, but their journeys often lead to peace, connection, or self-discovery. In India, these meaningful travels shape personal experiences and fuel a movement set to make the country a global center for spiritual exploration. For millions, the path through India's sacred sites is transformative. Every pilgrimage marks a new chapter in purposeful travel.
Once symbols of authority, artistry and community, Havelis in Old Delhi now stand at a crossroads between painstaking restoration and quiet ruin. Our next story brings you inside these historic mansions and examines what it takes to restore them. every street in Old Delhi tells a tale from centuries past. The 17th century walled city of Shahjahanabad, founded by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, still exists today as part of the Indian capital city. Created between 1639 and 1648 along the banks of the Yamuna River, the city was originally a carefully planned space comprising residential localities or mohallas, commercial centers known as katras, and bustling commercial enclaves. For visitors today, Old Delhi's bazaars and vibrant life are a marvel. However, beyond the present-day crowds and shopping, the city preserves remnants from the Mughal era. The Havelis. Tucked away within the current bustle, these buildings stand as quiet relics of a grand past. The word Haveli comes from the Persian havli, meaning an enclosed space. Historically, these mansions centered around a courtyard and became characteristic of North India from the 17th century onward. Over the centuries, Havelis evolved into more than dwellings. They became hubs of activity and community, featuring airy courtyards for relaxation, sandstone carved pillars, impressive arched gates, and intricate designs on their facades. In contrast to their vibrant past, many Havelis today are fading. Old Delhi is scattered with crumbling facades and closed-off gateways. These historic mansions, after years of inheritance disputes, urban pressure, and lack of investment, now stand on the verge of collapse. The once vibrant communal living spaces have grown quiet. Yet, for some residents, the Haveli remains an integral part of their identity.
So this house is touching about 130 plus years now, and you see that we haven't touched much of the architecture. We haven't disturbed much of the architecture except for the repairs that we keep doing it for maintaining it. And it's been a house for about 5 generations now for us. Ceiling is made up of wood, and it is falling now. So we keep now, the flooring you see was of the red sandstone which had started coming off. So we have repaired the floors, we have repaired the doors. Of course, you see, quite a lot of them are jamming and can't be closed completely. So these are all the kind of stuff that the house time to time needs to get repaired and to keep it livable.
For many families, the Haveli is not just a building, but the core of their memories, identity, and legacy. Reviving India's ancient Havelis has proven significantly more challenging than anticipated. Today, many are locked in complex legal battles.
One of the main reasons why the Havelis are in the shape they are in is because they are all embroiled in legal matters in terms of inheritance and ownerships and so on and so forth. So multiple families actually have stake claim on one property, and therefore no one can act. It is in a condition of deterioration. That certainly is so, because not much investment has gone into the old city. All the investment is hogged by the new part of the city. Most Indian cities have this dichotomous condition of an old city and a new city. So all the investment, the new capital that flows into the city goes to the new part of the city, and the old part stays neglected.
Yet hope endures for these architectural gems. Specialists contend that heritage buildings must be rejuvenated on a neighborhood scale, harmonizing restoration with original community ties. The loss of a Haveli erases a living chapter of culture. Progress is visible in places. Tucked deep within Old Delhi, the Kathika Cultural Center, once a Haveli, now thrives as a cultural hub.
there should be some kind of green signal or single window for anyone who's working with heritage. I think there's so many people today who work with heritage, they should be recognized, they should be given a single window, because otherwise we are losing all these properties, are getting lost very fast.
India's heritage tourism market was valued at nearly $32 billion in 2024 and is projected to reach $57 billion by 2033, growing at a CAGR of 6.8% from 2025 to 2033. These numbers reflect how heritage tourism in India has become a comprehensive, more personal and immersive experience. Visitors now stay in restored historic Havelis across the country. This revival extends beyond Delhi. Across Rajasthan, similar efforts are underway. For example, Ramgarh Shekhawati, a small town, is slowly reviving as several once abandoned Havelis are restored to their former glory. Old Delhi is not just cuisine, commerce, or bazaars. It is a tapestry of unraveling Haveli stories. Some are slowly being revived with caution and care. Roam these alleys and step into a Haveli. You cannot miss the enduring sense of history and community. For travelers, heritage sites are windows into the past, but in times of war, those windows can close forever. In Iran, over 130 historic and UNESCO-recognized sites have been damaged in the conflict, raising questions about what parts of the world's shared history may be lost to future generations.
In times of conflict, one of humanity's quietest losses is its shared heritage. Places that have stood for centuries, telling stories of civilization, culture, and identity, can be altered in moments. In the ongoing Iran war, that loss is becoming increasingly visible. According to officials, at least 132 cultural and historical sites have been damaged, including palaces, mosques, and UNESCO-recognized landmarks. For travelers, these are some of the highlights of visiting the region. They are windows into history, now at risk of being lost or forever changed. The scale of destruction has raised global concern. UNESCO has confirmed damage to several significant sites, including the Qajar-era Golistan Palace in Tehran and the historic Chehel Sotun Palace and Masjid-e-Jami Mosque in Isfahan. These are not just architectural landmarks, they are part of a cultural continuum, some dating back centuries, others tracing human presence thousands of years back. At Golistan Palace, shattered glass from intricate mirrored ceilings now covers the floors. At Chehel Sotun, damage has been recorded inside halls once known for their detailed frescoes and historic significance. The impact is not limited to Iran alone. UNESCO is tracking damage across the region, including sites in Israel and Lebanon, highlighting how conflict can ripple across shared heritage. The organization has urged all sides to protect cultural landmarks, even providing precise coordinates of heritage sites in advance to minimize damage.
I've been told that as of yesterday evening, 132 cultural heritage sites had been attacked.
For historians and travelers alike, the cost of such damage is immeasurable. These sites are not easily rebuilt. Their value lies not just in structure, but in authenticity and in the passage of time they represent.
These are priceless. The damages are irreparable. How can they be compensated for?
Cultural heritage is more than stone and structure. It reflects the identity of a nation, of a people, and of humanity as a whole. For travelers, it offers a connection, a chance to walk through history, to understand cultures beyond borders. When these places are damaged, that connection is weakened.
There is nothing more defenseless than cultural and natural heritage. Targeting heritage is targeting human identity.
For global travelers, the implications are profound. Destinations once known for their history and architecture may now be inaccessible, altered, or uncertain. Journeys planned around heritage, from the mosques of Isfahan to the palaces of Tehran, may never be experienced in the same way again. War reshapes landscapes in many ways, but beyond infrastructure and borders, it also reshapes memory. Because when heritage is lost, it is not just a country that loses a part of itself, it is the world. And for those who travel to understand history, these are stories that may now exist only in fragments.
Christians around the world celebrate the Holy Week of Easter. From war-ridden West Asia to Europe and America, people are coming forward to celebrate the festival in harmony. Let's take a look.
Palm Sunday marks the last Sunday before Easter, commemorating the entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, where he was welcomed by people waving palm branches. The entire week of Easter commemorates some of the crucial events of Christianity, such as the preaching of Jesus in Jerusalem, the Last Supper, and the crucifixion of Jesus. In Jerusalem, Christians from around the world gathered for the traditional Palm Sunday procession from the Mount of Olives to the Old City. However, security restrictions this year limited access to key sites, and some processions were cancelled. Still, worshippers continued to pray with the hope of peace amid conflict.
This year is really sad. It's only services inside the churches with limited number of people, being in the church.
In India, Christians across the country gathered in large numbers for prayers and processions, holding palm leaves and marking the beginning of Holy Week.
Palm Sunday is basically commemorating Jesus' victorious entry towards the city of Jerusalem. Unlike a worldly leader, Jesus enters city by sitting on a donkey. Why he chosen it? Basically to prove that he is the King of Peace.
In the Philippines, thousands of Catholics attended the church, offering prayers for global peace, especially in conflict-hit regions.
With everything happening around the world, I hope for peace so that we can all begin again in a better and more peaceful way. I also pray that the Lord grants our hopes and removes hatred from each of our hearts.
In Poland, one of the most unique and colorful Palm Sunday traditions came to life in the rural region of Kirpi. Locals gathered in the village of Lis to parade giant handmade palms, some towering several meters high, decorated with intricate paper flowers, dried plants, and forest greenery. The tradition is followed for decades, involving a competition where every element must be made by hand, with no store-bought materials allowed.
We wrap it with colorful flowers that are made by hand. They cannot be store-bought or artificial. They have to be handmade. For the bands, we add plants gathered from the forest, such as blueberries or pine branches.
In Spain, the beginning of the Holy Week was marked with grand processions, featuring centuries-old traditions, as the young penitents of the ethnic group Los Gitanos took over the streets of Ronda.
It is the most important day for our brotherhood. Everything is ready. All that remains is to admire our patron saints in the streets, to spread health and hope with our Virgin of La Amargura, and to enjoy this exceptional day in the city of Ronda.
And in the Mexican city of Oaxaca, Palm Sunday took an emotional turn as families gathered in cemeteries to honor their loved ones. With flowers, candles, and prayers, the day became a celebration of spiritual connection.
Our ancestors have taught us that Palm Sunday is dedicated to being with our deceased from morning until nightfall. It is very important to be here, and as long as God gives us life and health.
It is not a day of sadness, it is a day of joy, a day of celebration. We bring them flowers, we bring them candles, we bring the whole family.
From unique processions to peaceful prayers, the Holy Week continues to unite millions in faith amid the ongoing phase of global suffering.
Now we bring you some heartwarming stories of animal conservation from all around the world. Let's take a look. Uganda has achieved a major conservation milestone after reintroducing rhinos into Kidepo Valley National Park, where they had been extinct since 1983 due to poaching. 4 southern white rhinos were translocated from Siwa Rhino Sanctuary. Officials say the move is part of a broader conservation effort, backed by enhanced security measures and community involvement to prevent poaching and ensure their safety.
This one it will improve the income of Kidepo, because Kidepo here gives the local service tax to the community. And these rhinos still will bring more tourists to Kidepo that will bring more money to our community.
With more rhinos scheduled for relocation soon, this initiative is expected to restore ecological balance and boost local livelihoods. In Europe, the Beauval Zoo in France is making the headlines for the birth of its first ever Chinese golden monkey. The baby, born to female monkey Jindu, marks a significant step for global conservation efforts for this endangered species.
A week ago, a little golden monkey was born. It's Jindu's baby, one of our 2 female golden monkeys. And it's an exceptional experience because it's the first time in France, and it's a threatened, endangered species. So obviously having a new baby is good for conservation. It's really something great for the species.
In Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo's Virunga National Park has announced the birth of a second set of rare mountain gorilla twins this year. Twin births among mountain gorillas are extremely rare, occurring in less than 1% of cases. The newborn male and female are being closely monitored by conservation teams. And in China, twin panda cubs at Shanghai Wild Animal Park just began their outdoor adventures. The 7-month-old siblings were seen climbing, playing, and delighting visitors with their energetic and playful antics. Pandas are notoriously difficult to breed in captivity, as females only ovulate once a year for a brief 24 to 72-hour window, so each birth is a major event. Seeing animals thrive and procreate in captivity is a positive sign and offers tourists a glimpse of threatened species they would have rarely encountered in the wild. That's all we have for you on the show in this week's episode, but we return with more travel content next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.